nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A. It's going to be with the R. And he hit the R. He, like, stuck the landing. There was, like, a dismount. Klan members high-fiving in the background, like, doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for, like, this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of, like, a potential ass-kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have... It's an idiot.
What's it like to be a comedian in 2016?
It's the exact same way as it was in 2006 and in 1996. It's a completely exaggerated... They make it seem like you walk into the club and there's people out there with signs and they're throwing stuff at you.
Yeah.
They aren't. It's just completely media manufactured. Like, you could literally genetically alter the food. You can create a heroin epidemic. They're not going to bring that up. But if you do a Caitlyn Jenner joke every night for 2 years and one person complains, there's a chance that they'll blow it up. It's like lazy journalism. It's an easy story. And, you know, and then the people who get offended they're childish people. They're not adults, because they'll sit there and they'll let 100 subjects goes by and it's all a joke, and then it gets to their neck of the woods, and then all of a sudden it's a statement, and you're up there like, you know, getting legislation enacted for some sort of law to make their life more miserable, whatever their point.
Conventions, Republican convention, Democratic convention?
No, I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They bet on both horses, and then it just kind of goes. You know, it's not for you, right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? Like, that guy is going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like, just freaking people out.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay attention to the election? We got a new mayor here. Bloomberg is out.
I didn't even know there was an election. I honestly don't. I don't pay attention at all. You know.
It's funny.
Bankers get bonuses of anywhere. The upper echelon get from like 10 million up to 100 million, and the president of the United States makes like 400 grand a year. So right there, I watched enough wrestling to see a rigged game, and you know, there's like people with YouTube channels making as much as the leader of the free world. So I just think he's set up to be bribed, and you act accordingly. So basically anybody who comes at me going these you know, the conservative right, or these liberals, like, I just zone out. I can't even talk to you if you're actually still looking at it like those are two choices that you're getting. You're not. It's the same. Once you get past a certain level, it just seems like it's
all the same.
Yeah, you've jumped in the river, and you act accordingly, or you get that convertible ride in Dallas.
What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys!
I do not belong to you. I believe I belong to my Father in heaven, and his name is Yahweh! 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 I call in prayer.
This guy, I absolutely fucking love this guy. This guy, he has passion. He's informed. He's a little fucking crazy. He is a true fucking patriot, without a doubt. The amount of people who would watch this guy and because he yells Yahweh would just say that he's a nut job is actually a travesty.
To I belong.
There's no need to use a taser.
He is illegally tasering me. I am defending myself in favor of that.
An easy spot to be in, you know, and I stayed true to who I was, an uninformed jackass who can't fucking read out loud, who's into conspiracy theory. I talked about Hillary dressing up like a yak and fucking people under a mountain. I talked about Trump being a dope and that whole ridiculous shit about building a fucking wall. I trashed them both equally, but, you know, people who vote for colors, right? You got a blue tie, you can say nothing wrong. You got a red tie, you can't do anything wrong, right? I got so much fucking shit. It's so amazing how people hear things. My point in all of that was like, it'd be kind of cool if we all just stopped yelling at each other. All right? All right, if you want to hear my fucking theories.
You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics and aerodynamics and all that involved. Like if you have it shaped like a twat, I don't think it's going to make it to another country unless you Frisbee it, right? And even then that gap's going to fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But if the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ.
Geez, you'd think I was like trashing the president or something. You guys are really like pulling back.
It's
here.
worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh.
Did you guys see the picture of Donald watching his wife vote?
A lot of trust in that relationship.
No, a part of me dies every time I go into a store and I see something. They go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah. I
always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-212-5. It was really, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, you don't get it, man. You don't get it till you have. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense. I was so upset that security escorted him out. I wanted to talk. I started my show blaming women for sexual harassment. That's how I started it. Yes, it was absurd. I wasn't being serious, you children.
Your Christian background is part of the show.
Yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
You just ignore them. It's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy show.
Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
First off, thanks for calling in a couple weeks back, and so blessed to have you sitting here in our 105.9 studio.
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually glad I don't watch the news. I had no idea the economy was tanking until we came in. Yeah, it's great.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. I guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch. I think bankers should be forced to dress like bankers back in the day with the top hat and the tuxedo. So at least you know what they look like so they can't hide in public as they go to the mall. Just dress like the Penguin on Batman. And just waddle around. At least let me throw a hot dog at you. Something, you piece of garbage. You're not going to go to jail. They're the worst.
Remember that? We had this college agent, great guy, but he used to book us in the middle of fucking nowhere. He'd always call me up, Billy, Scott Bass calling. I have a gig for you in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Now, they don't have a lot of money, but I can build around it.
And then
there won't be a stage. It's at 12 noon in a hallway. Can you do it?
Yeah.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. It's going to take her four-wheelers, Macuzzi.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people.
This is like that Hillary commercial where they have the little kids watching politics. I'm like, that's bullshit. Little kids don't watch politics. There you go.
So, like, dude, like this week when I went to upload my podcast to Dropbox and it wasn't working. And, dude, if you want to see something funny, watch me flip out when my kid is sleeping. Because I can't yell and just listen to, dude, I literally grabbed my computer and I was just like, fucking God. Like walking around my fucking kitchen.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
Yeah. Do my own little thing. Get my little 12 gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna, get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
You tell it the way it is. I love the podcast.
I really don't. I don't read. I go with my gut. That's my fancy way of saying I don't read.
Well, that's good.
I hang out in bars. I overhear stuff that plumbers say, and then I repeat it on the radio. That's all I'm doing.
I love the podcast.
I just realized I was swinging my legs underneath this as your buddy is videotaping it.
I do.
He really gets into this. Whee! I'm telling jokes. Dude, if you took 90% of my text messages and phone messages and you put them on the news, you would run out of podiums to put in front of me that I would have to apologize. The crap me and DeRosa say to each other, forget it. It's over.
You can't talk shit in the room with that guy. Yo, one time this guy stepped to me in the bar. Dude, fuck you. One time the president was giving me shit, and I said, oh, yeah, I'll have you a fucking job in 2 years, and I did it.
I got to tell you, though, becoming a dad, though, is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, man. It really is. I don't have any jokes about my kid. No, it is.
And you're applauding my wife.
She did all the work. Yeah, knocking a woman up, that's easy. You just have fun. You unprotected sex, bam, you knock them up, and then they have to deal with it, No matter how much they try to drag you into it, it really is, it's their show. I always say my wife, when my wife was pregnant, I would say my wife, she's pregnant. And then I always have these people like, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse, so I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. She's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant, I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah.
Sometimes have you driven out to a bar going, I'm just going to have one. All of a sudden you had like 11, right? And you're hammered. And you're thinking, but you're responsible. You're drunk, but you're responsible. You're like, God damn it, I drove my car here tonight. God damn it, I'm driving it home, all right? I'm not going to burden this place of business by taking up a parking space in this completely empty parking lot for the next 6 hours. Now, I am not advocating drinking and driving, but I will tell you, there's nothing better than when all your friends and family know you're hammered. There's nothing better than that walk to the car. It's incredible. Women are screaming, people tearing at your clothes. You feel like you're in the Beatles. Oh my God, no! Stop! And you're like, no autographs. I'm sorry, I have to go. I'll be back. Get him off me.
All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid that entire story? She was never called a whore, ever. Just boggled my mind. She knew his wife, first name basis, played with their kids, fucked her husband in their own goddamn bed. That's right down the checklist. First ballot Hall of Fame whore. Right there. Never. Why do you think she hooked up with him? Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking? The giant space between his teeth I could put this mic cord through? Or do you think maybe it's all that kindergarten cop money laying around the goddamn bedroom?
What did amaze me during all of this was the amount of shit that doctors got from non-doctors / complete fucking morons. People who had to go to summer school. According to my internet research, if you take a little bleach, vitamin D, and aspirin,
Like, my favorite heckle doctors got from people was like, dude, what's the last thing they even cured? What? Fucking polio? It's like, no, HPV. They just came out with the vaccine for HPV. No more warts on your dick. We should be carrying these people around on our shoulders. Thank you for not having to make me go down to the doctor and be like, that's not a birthmark, is it? Or even worse, you're too shy to go, so you try to do self-surgery with a frozen Bud Light can. Stick it on there, freeze it on! Not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women, right? It's a little open-ended, huh? It's just straight across the fucking board, all of them, every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? I know. That's the world we're fucking living in right now. And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem! Get the fuck out! Because she says I have a temper. She's like, you know, it's just not that you're trying to fix things. It's that you get frustrated, you punch the wall, the dog starts shaking. I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, you're a comedian. You should tell jokes. He's a plumber. He should plumb, right? Trying to explain to her that losing your shit is part of the process of fixing something. Everybody does that. You buy, right? Yeah. You buy something at IKEA, you get halfway through putting it together, you're like, dude, where the fuck is the fucking... Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Well, honey, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Why? You want to put it together? You want to... Well, then you put it together. You put together this fucking particle board piece of fucking shit. Its instructions make no sense. I will buy another one. I will buy another one. I'll buy fucking 5 and smash 4 if I want to. Don't tell me what to do. Oh, go to your mother's. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, what story are you going to tell? This one, right? Not the part about how I pay all the fucking bills, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker. Sports fan. Painter. Skateboarder. Lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. I'm not hurting anybody. Think about it. You eat a cheeseburger, that's protein. That's good for your muscles, right? And I don't know about you guys, but after I rub one out, I'm more relaxed. I'm less likely to lash out at my fellow man. I'm in a great space mentally. I think they just make it all up. But it's weird, though, because I'm kind of feeling this thing, because I haven't been to church in a while. I'm kind of feeling like, you know, I want to go back, but I need a new religion, man. That's why I'm kind of between religions right now. You know, like, I used to be Catholic, but, you know, I can't be Catholic anymore, you know? I mean, once they started fucking the kids, I was just like, all right, dude, you know what? I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to play it off like, yeah, we hit a little prom in aisle 8, but, you know, we got some slacks over here. We got kitchen appliances. We got some hula hoops. Now, look, I know you're not supposed to make fun of fat people. I understand, all right? I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk. You know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How How is this my problem? Jesus Christ, you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. All right? And just slowly start shedding the pounds. Shove some fucking lettuce in there instead of a bunch of ho-hos, and it's going to come down, and then you're on my side of the fence, right? Join me. Come on, say it with me. Shame. Shame. Right?
This might be the most arrogant thing I say all night, but I actually resent the fact that I'm going to get judged someday. Like, if that's true, that somebody's going to judge me, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, dude, you made me, so this is your fuck-up, all right? Let's not try to turn this around on me, you know? You give me freedom of choice, you make whores, you have me suck at math, and you don't think this thing's going to go off the rails? Like, you set me up to fail, and now you got the balls to now question your own goddamn work. Dude, if I made a car, if I built a car and it didn't run, I wouldn't, like, burn it forever. You evil piece of shit, light it on fire. I wouldn't. I would troubleshoot. Is there gas in the engine? Is the battery charged? Anything beyond this, I got to get a real man to look at it. But I believe in you. I'll try and help you out. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking, like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My name is her, with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? So now it's like I'm in this weird place where I'm not in any religion right now. Unrestricted free agent. You know? I'd like to believe in something, so I've been going around asking people what this shit is, and I haven't been able to find anything. I'm trying to be open-minded. I was doing a gig in Helsinki, and over there, they're like Lutheran. And what they believe when you die, you're dead. And that's it. Dead. Like a pigeon, just laying there. Over. Blew my mind. I'm like, really? You're just dead like this? You don't... Like my religion was, you know, you die and then you go up to get judged, right? God pops in the DVD of your life. Like, oh, I don't know about this right here. Mind explaining yourself? Actually, I have this black dude moved in my building, man. Lives on the same floor as me. He's one of these dudes. Every time, he's hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the shit, he repeats, like, the most important part of, like, the previous sentence. It's hilarious. Everything he said will be like, yo, my man came in. He put that shit on the table. Put it on the table! Yo, this country's at war, son. War! I'm just looking at my friend like, dude, did you hear him the first time? Because I heard him the first time. I was smiling. I was nodding. Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion. I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, you know, I iron the shit, right?
I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period. One of them's going to notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny like, this motherfucker's got the same shit he had on last Tuesday. It's the last thing they cured. Do you know what fake legs looked like when I was a kid? Huh? First of all, there was only one color. It was like Band-Aid color, and everybody knew you had a fake leg, and you were fucking walking down the street, and oh, you got a fake leg. What do you think happened? Motorcycle accident. Fell down a flight of stairs. Got impatient with a wood chipper, right? Everybody knew you had a fake leg. Now, if you have fake legs, you're not allowed to compete with people with real legs in the Olympics because not having legs is now more of an advantage than having real legs. Doctors make better legs than God. All right, your calves and your feet flopping around are no match for a couple of sickles. These people just skiing down the fucking street. You get them by some train tracks that go downhill, you're never gonna see them again. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets! Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? So I'm going down 9th Avenue, and all of a sudden I looked up, and about 2 blocks away, all of a sudden I see this lesbian coming up the block, okay? Now I know this is Boulder, Colorado, right? So you guys are all like, fucking, hey man, you know? Like, how did you like know she was a lesbian, man? Like, that's not cool. You just looked at her and you just knew she was a lesbian? You don't know her. How do you just know somebody's a lesbian? Easy. The same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021, you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? What's funny is some white kid came in here, like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks. You'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yeah, just killed 5 people in a drinking and driving accident, already has a new Dodge Challenger on the way, right? Yeah, you're allowed to see that. That you can see, clear as day. Lesbian, no, but that's how progressive you guys are, right? You don't have any idea, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? Am I I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%, but gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. Right? So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're gonna bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden, she drifts back into my lane again. And I'm sitting there walking like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Thought I solved this problem. All right, so I fucking dip into another lane again, right? Okay, I'm walking. We go another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm like thinking, like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane and have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over? I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, your gayness, right? Or do I stiffen up my shoulder and protect my lane, right? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the latter, all right? I was like, look, I'm 53, I moved twice, I have an AARP card, I'm the fucking victim here. So I stiffen up the shoulder, and then immediately I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna get crazy. I have never done this with a female before. This is in public, people are gonna see this shit, what's gonna happen, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you, she started closing in, she was moving, so I like leaned in, like I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor and I was not gonna get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Okay? Now I know most of you guys drive, so I will break down pedestrian etiquette really quickly. In New York City. This is the deal. If you're walking down the street in New York, right? You're walking, and if you just sort of brush sleeves with somebody, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder. Hey, sorry, man. My bad. Have a nice day, right? Then there's the next level. Moves up a little bit. You're walking down the street. You actually bump into somebody. You actually have to turn around. Sorry, didn't see you. Little dojo bow. My bad. Whatever you have to do, my sensei, to keep it from escalating. And then there's the last one. You're just walking down the street and you hit so fucking hard, you gotta turn around and go like old school Dustin Hoffman, De Niro, like, hey, I'm fucking walking here, huh? I fucking moved twice, you didn't see that? You drifted 2 times, huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation. And let me tell you something, she never looked back. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know? And I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's gonna settle in my chest, and then one more time it's gonna be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter, I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to accidentally drift into your lane twice? So I just started throwing shit on the wall. Hey, here we go. Did she have a club foot? No. Did she just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Is she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there. You go over to the left, they're coming back this way, it's like they just got off a ship, and everything was just like, no, cut! Right? I was still mad. Still
fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Lied to myself. Said I didn't give a fuck, you know? So then I ended up going home. Then I'm home and I'm washing the dishes, which is a very Zen-like thing to do. It's like a week later. You know, you wash dishes, you're not thinking of anything. Your brain is empty. I'm washing the dishes, and then all of a sudden, the answer just came to me. It just floated into my head. And I just looked up. I was like, oh my God. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian.
Now I get it. I'm gonna figure this out by 70.
I want to figure. Can I tell you what I'm dying to talk to you about?
Okay.
One of the things that happens the most on the internet is Bill Burr interviews gone wrong. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Is like.
What do I do? You Google yourself?
Oh no! It's like you have an unawareness about you that that you don't realize
That's
how much.
such a great way of saying you're kind of glib.
No, you're not
just
glib.
Have this childlike.
You're not glib, but like the two interviews are H3H3 and Theo Von, where everyone's like, did you see that interview? And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time on the Theo Von thing. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know either.
I left that. We had a good time. I showed him my truck. We had a great fucking time.
I thought you guys had a great time. I thought it was a great interview. I think it is, I knowing both of you, you were not you, and he was not him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll do his podcast again. And the thing about it is I understand his vibe more.
Yeah.
So it's just
his
like
vibe
anything.
is tough to gel with. Like if you're completely in the dark of what you're doing, it takes you a second to like double dutch into it.
He's one of my favorite comics.
Dude, he is.
Yeah, I don't
so fucking funny.
Like people like to take a little fucking thing and then gas it up and make it something else, and then it becomes like, you know, that's all they're doing.
That's
like
all.
What's funny is the average douchebag on these fucking social media is no different than these giant corporate news agencies where they're just taking shit out of context to cause something that didn't even happen, so you'll stop and watch it so they can make money off of views.
Yeah.
And people on the internet do the exact same thing. They know exactly where to cut it, where to begin it, and where to end it to take it from a level 2 up to fucking 12.
I watched you and Theo's whole interview, didn't find anything wrong with it, including what people will say is how it ended, which is you going, I have to go, I have to leave now.
Yeah, my kid was getting up. It had nothing to do with him.
And then I watched the you got to see this interview with Bill and Theo, and they chop it up to make it look like you don't like him, you don't get him. And
they do that with Rogan, where they'll do like his reaction, that guy, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch it.
I watch it, but I don't know. But that doesn't.
You know what? Fuck you, Bert.
They're gonna cut this up now. It's funny because it's like someone will say something. Did you see that with Bill? And I go, yeah, I did. And it's just Bill. It's Bill and it's Theo. Like, how do you not see past just two dudes?
You ever try to get abs? You ever try to get all the abs and get that shit down here? You ever try to do it? It's fucking impossible. Past the age of 19, you can't do it without tons of help. You gotta buy all these exercise tapes. You gotta read about nutrition. You gotta get a personal trainer having you fucking running along. You need like your own chef, and he's like, okay, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. All right, now, eat it. Start consuming it. All right, stop. Slow down. Stop. Spit it out. Spit it out. I told you to stop. Get on the elliptical. Now you like that Brussels sprout? Did you like that Brussels sprout? Because now you're paying for it. It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You know, you want some cake? No, I'll just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side, no croutons. Oh my God, when is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No. You don't have to. It's effortless. You can fucking lay on your back, watching your favorite show, just shoveling shit down your throat. What are you doing? I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. You got a trainer? Don't need one. It's natural. I just eat everything that makes my sugar salt go like, yeah! Woo! Yeah! comes right in. Nice. I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend because I'm a jerk. So Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? down there Comic-Con and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's why, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc.
Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the f*** up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that? They do. That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the f*** is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400 grand a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400 grand a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter, which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. So I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you very much.